Hey there, friends. How's it going? Richard here from Lealtad App. And as we're getting closer to the end of the year, it's really a great time for any and every business owner to really think about like how can I make 2025, 2026, whatever the next year is, like a year of thriving, growing and thriving. And I think one of the most powerful ways any business owner can do that is by thinking about and taking a look at what customers and competitors' customers are saying. So in this video, I'm going to dive into a few ways that are really accessible for any business owner to do this. Now, the first thing is you might be asking, like, why does this matter? So, three reasons. This isn't exhaustive; it's just inclusive and instructive. There are probably a ton. If you spend some time thinking about it, like plenty of other reasons why this matter, but three that come to top of mind relatively quickly. One, understanding the positives and negatives of your offer to know where you can improve. In the context of like a restaurant, right? Is the lighting something that a lot of customers take issue with? Is the sound and ambiance in there something that take issue with? Is something with your actual menu an issue that some customers have, right? Knowing this can help inform changes to the way you offer, like what your offer is and the way you offer it, right? So it's really important to know what your customers think about doing business with you. A second reason why it matters is that understanding those positives and negatives of your competitors can help you fill those gaps in. So yeah, it's great to know like what your competitors think about you, but if there's something that your customer or the customers, right, are saying about competitors that they're either really raving about or the alternative they really don't like that gives you an opportunity to fill that gap in there. For instance, again, in the case of a restaurant, if there's something that a competitor restaurant offers that like customers love. I think about in New York City here, there was like the rainbow bagel. There's things that like catch fire really quickly, that get a lot of news and whatnot. Hey, if you can offer something to close that gap, like that's something that's really powerful ammunition for your business. In the alternative, if there's something that customers are complaining about, let's say about your competitors, oh, there's too much lighting, or like the bar fills up with, I don't know, people just looking to start whatever it is, like you can use that to your advantage. Or how can I if possible, rearrange my seating, or could I possibly change the lighting, install like ambient sounds, right, to just set the mood, something like that, right? So it's important to know not only what customers are saying about your offering and your service and the way you deliver it, but also your competitors, because you can fill in that gap. A third reason why it matters that comes top of mind is that people want to be seen and heard. And so when they're taking the time and energy to express their feelings or their experience with you, with the competitor, like they want it to be acknowledged. I know, for instance, if you're like me, I buy a ton of stuff off of Amazon. I don't leave reviews for everything. I usually leave reviews when something like far exceeds my expectations, or like the far disappointing with respect to my expectations. Usually in the middle, I mean, once in a while I will leave a review, but it's usually like on the extremes. And if I'm a business owner, I really want to know that, like, what struck somebody in such a way that they wanted to like take time out of their day to go out and leave a review, right? So it's really important to, I think, one, acknowledge the customer, right? They spend time in your business, they spent money with your business, and for them to go basically out of their way to express their experience, that's something that you want to pay attention to, because it can be really, really informative. So those are just three reasons. Again, you can come up with a ton of other reasons why, but three reasons why it matters to know what your customers are saying about you and what customers are saying about your competitors. So we're going to hop over to, again, like three ways that you can like figure this out relatively easily. So the first one is going to be social media feeds: Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever the case is. Now, I know the first thing you might be saying, oh gosh, social media is not something that I enjoy. If you're like me, not really like into social media, except that if you look at it from the perspective of it's really powerful for businesses, and you can drive a lot of, again, customer engagement, sales from social media. Hey, it becomes like another way that you can grow, another arm for you to flex and grow your business. Some of the benefits, it's free. Like, social media platforms want you and your businesses to have profiles and pages on their system. So why not? It's free. Like, they don't charge you for it. And the second thing is, like, the reality is everyone is on social. As much as I hate to admit it, like, when I'm on the train or a bus or waiting in line at the post office, everyone is on their phone. And I'm like the intrusive type. I'll look over and see what people are doing. It's always on. It's like 9 out of 10 times social media. That 1 out of 10 times is going to be like some game, right? So people are on social media. Might as well meet your customers where they're at. Like think about it logistically. If somebody wants to do business, right, they want to be as convenient as possible. That's just the world we live in and the world we kind of grew into. Like if you have to go, what better way to do business than where I'm already at? If I have to go out of my way, like a weird website that I have to remember the URL to, and then XYZ process, like it's added steps. Just why can't this business be where I'm at, and then like make it very convenient to do business with them, right? So everyone's on social. Just bite it, meet them where they're at. Some of the challenges, it can be time consuming. Again, it can be like distracting, and you start scrolling for no good reason. Just know that if you're doing this as a business owner, it's a tool for business. It's a tool for prospecting. Leave it in that box and don't use it for anything else, and you'll see how powerful it is for you. And the second challenge can be you're unsure how to navigate Search Connect. All this really does is takes you to like take a couple of minutes, find some videos on YouTube or on X, Twitter, like people who are sharing their 3-step or 5-step guides just to do it. And then you lock in, like, I'm going to just set a timer for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Don't do anything but what you need to do. It's going to go by really fast. Like engaging, finding comments and responding to customers in like 10 minutes. That's all you can fit in there. It's going to be like 5 comments. So it's not going to be a lot anyways. But that's it, 10 minutes. If you set that up for 2 or 3 times a day, you're well ahead of the game. So those are going to be the benefits and challenges. If you want something a little more sneaky, it's going to be Answer the Public or a tool like it. There are lots of like keyword research tools. And what these keyword research tools do at their core is that they look at what people are typing into Google search, into Amazon, into YouTube, into whatever, all these different search engines. And they aggregate the information, like how many searches are on this term. And what you can start doing is seeing the way people are looking for your product or service, right? Or what they're saying about you. If you're like a huge brand and you just want to have like, hey, how many times do people talk about my business, right? You can type in the name of your business and Answer the Public. And then you see, like, the cool thing about Answer the Public and why I mentioned it here as opposed to another tool is that they allow you to add like question. I just want to look up these terms, right? Let's say it's my business name or a relevant industry term within the context of a question or a comparison or something like that. So if you just want to know what questions are people asking, if your service is, I don't know, like a law practice, right? If you want to know what are people asking about this offering, right? Or if you do some type of coaching, like what are the top questions that people ask about, I don't know, executive coaching? You go into Answer the Public and you type in executive coaching, it's going to give you like the highest searched questions around executive coaching. And so all right, these are the questions that people are answering. Either one, in my like marketing material, I could answer those questions, right? So it decreases the objections or answer and addresses those objections in the marketing material, right? And 2, it's like, hey, you're answering the question, getting ahead of it. Like that's going to give people like you're steering them into your stable, right? Because the questions that are out there that are really, think about it, they're left unanswered by the things that are already out there. If you start answering them, like it informs your marketing message. It becomes like, just come here. Like, here's the answer that you're looking for. Come here. So Answer the Public is a really cool tool. Some of the benefits, there's like a freemium version of it, but it is free to use. You can use it for like 3 searches a day, which if you're just getting started with this, 3 searches is probably more than enough, right? Lots of ideas for content. So if your social media is barren, you can come on here, just type in, again, go with like one term that is related to your product or service, your industry. And again, if you're talking about executive coaching, type in executive coaching, and then you'll get a list of questions. Just answer each of those questions. I did this video for real estate agents. Just type in like first-time home buyer. You're going to get questions about first-time home buyer. All you got to do is hop on your camera and just like answer the questions, and you have content for months doing that. just answering the questions that people actually have. It's pretty easy, like so good, such a good way to do it. Some of the challenges, again, it can be time consuming, right? To start like what terms do I look for? What don't get, I think just don't get bogged down by details. Like whatever your product or service is, like use that broadly speaking, and over time you'll figure out like other industry terms or topics that are relevant to your business. And once every month or so, you can do the same thing. Just go back in there, pull questions, pull like figure out what people are saying. You can also track the changes to know like where attention is shifting in your market. And then another challenge could be like unsure how to use that information gathered. Like, all right, I got search data, right? What people are searching and typing for, but what do I do with that? More looking at the easy answer is going to be just create content. If you do a blog posts are great, social media, videos, it can inform your, again, graphic design, whatever you create, like that's probably the best and easiest way to use that data. And then finally, number three is going to be probably more of a modern tool. And this I think is really helpful because it's just like it can be done on autopilot. And that's the benefit of using what's called a social listening tool. What social listening tools do is that you can set up alerts for, let's just say it's like relevant key industry terms, and it goes out there into like different forums, social media platforms, and anytime that term appears in like a post, in a comment, it's gonna send you an alert. Now, the some of the challenges, so the benefits are like you can get into that conversation, right? If they imagine like whatever your business you do, let's go back to the executive coaching space, and you're an executive coach, and you have people asking, hey, or like in a Reddit thread, I had this experience with a coach. I want to know like what other people are having in a particular area, right? Because Reddit's can be very like into the nitty gritty like that in New York City. You can just hop, if you get that alert, you just hop into that conversation. And one, you have a prospect who's expressed interest or concern or frustration. Two, you can answer that question. And three, you can like move that conversation from Reddit somewhere else, right? To like get them into your sales funnel. So it's really great to find these conversations, and you don't have to do a lot of digging. Lots of ideas for content generation. Same thing. It's just you're using what people are putting out on the internet, on social media, on these forums, and you can just convert that into content. Like you don't have lots of people, business owners that I've spoken with, their social media is like blank because the answer is, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to get the ideas from. Use a social media tool like this. Every morning I get an alert or a digest, like 100 alerts. And literally each one of those alerts could be one, it's really more than one piece of content, but even if it's one piece of content, in 3 days I have a full year's worth of content. It's that simple. So those are some of the benefits. Some of the challenges is the cost. A lot of these tools do have to use them after like the free trial or something like that. There is a cost to it. And then like the cost is going to be dependent on if you want like weekly alerts, daily alerts, immediate alerts, if you want to kind of be able to integrate it with other tools, API access. So just know that there's probably going to be a cost to it. I use a tool called Octolens, for instance. It's great. Every morning, one of the first emails that I see is from Octolens. It says you have, again, 50 new alerts, and I can just spend a couple minutes, go through the alerts and see like what conversations are relevant, create content around that, move forward with that. Another challenge could be like unsure how to use that information. Again, I just think there are going to be questions. You can create content around those conversations. And then in the alternative, you could also like respond to that particular, it's really prospects are people who are in the market for your product or service are leaving these comments, and you could just hop in that conversation. And then, if it seems like a mutual fit that you're solving a problem for them and they're agreeable to it, like move them into your sales pipeline. It's really a really powerful thing. So again, those are just 3 ways that you can, which I highly recommend, start learning about what your customers are saying about your business, about your competitors. And a couple of like ending recommendations: use the information gathered in some kind of generative AI tool. Like you can copy and paste a lot of these things. If you're getting answer the public, you're getting a keyword list in the searches, like put that into ChatGPT or Claude or something like this, one of those tools, and you can have it like, hey, what kind, can you give me 10 pieces of content to create around this? Or what's the sentiment if you can like copy and paste the comments from a Reddit thread or Reddit forum, like what's the customer sentiment or client sentiment based on these conversations. Just a really easy way to you take that information that you gathered and like figure out something to do with it. And another powerful recommendation is going to be, like I said, just actually comment and respond to those comments. These are live people posting in on the forum, right? And if you can hop in there as yourself, as your business, and respond to those comments, like it's a really powerful thing to do. I've done it for my businesses. And again, it's just like a really easy way. If it's a good fit, the sale becomes supernatural. That's all. Like it just has to be the person being in the right place, kind of right time. But they've like raised their hand that they're interested in it. If you hop in and it seems like a good fit, a good value prop for the person who commented, like you don't have to prove anything else. The sale is done for you. A really easy way to drive more sales. So with that, hopefully you found this informative, helpful, whatever the case is. If you'd like to connect with me, you can always hit me up on the Twitters, on X at Richard Kistner, over on LinkedIn, same thing, just search for Richard Kistner. And if you'd like to know more about what I do, particularly the Lealtad app, it's a digital platform that helps businesses generate more sales, improve customer satisfaction with easily created, managed digital loyalty programs. So think about like a stamp-based rewards program, a tiered-based rewards program, lots of different iterations that you can do. You can learn more about that over on lealtadapp.com. With that, until next time, take care, be well, bye for now.